Welcome everyone. So excited to be hosting a very, very special webinar with you on this Saturday in March, and we are excited to share some very special guests with you and the beginning of something big. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, you might be a guest here wondering what you're on to listen to. I'm excited for you, and we're gonna get stuck into we believe a very exciting solution to what most people are looking for answers in today. And I have some very special guests here on the slide that you can see, Bob Proctor, Linda Proctor, joining us very shortly. But for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Marnie Kay. I'm originally from Australia. I've lived in Canada now for 12 years. And, you know, a little while back, I was in probably maybe a similar place to where you are today. I was looking for a change. I was looking for a change in my income. I was looking for a change in how I was earning money. I had a corporate career that I liked certain parts of, but I was very restricted. I felt stuck in a lot of ways. I wasn't able to earn any more. I certainly didn't have any more time that I could leverage in that career. Although I earned good money, I was really stuck and limited and looking for another way. And I was so fortunate to be introduced to the very special guest that I'm going to introduce here shortly. And I learned a couple of things from them that absolutely changed everything for me. I mean, I went from working 60 to 70 hours a week, lucky if I got to go home once every 2 years to see my family, never Christmas, never birthdays, never when I wanted to go. I was truly stuck without any time freedom, certainly no financial freedom. And really with not being aware of any other options out there today that I could start to create that change. And it was a chance introduction, as I said, that I ended up at an event a lot like what you're listening to here today. I jumped on the line, listened to a call, and listened to some information that we're going to share with you today that I know can change everything for you. So as you're listening to this information, I want you to be thinking today about what it is that you would like to change in your life. Would you like to be earning more money? Would you like to have more time freedom? Would you like to be able to wake up and choose what you do with your days, and when you do it, and where you do it, how you do it, and who you do it with? Because if that's you, that's exactly where I was. And I'll tell you, after the information that I heard today, I made the decision to jump in and to partner with these two very special people and an amazing team. And 6 months in, I walked away from that corporate career. I've spent the last 4.5 years now traveling right around the world with a lot of the people that are on the line here with us today that are already partnered with us in Team Diamond Global Network, helping people leverage the vehicle, the system, and the mentorship that we have here today that is second to none to create change in many people's lives, thousands, and we're looking to do that in a big way starting today. Today is the launch of the biggest wave that we are about to have with Team Diamond Global Network, and we are so excited to share it with you. So I want to shout out really quick to all of the team that are already with us in many countries around the world. I want to shout out to some of the leaders that we get to work with on a day-to-day basis. Wolfgang Sonnenberg, we've got Aline Bannon. Everyone's in a different place right now. I was going to say where you are, but everybody's traveling in a different place. Darren Gibson out in the US. We've got such an amazing leadership team here, but I'm excited to introduce to you today, and truly this man needs no introduction, but this man has changed millions of people's lives. For those of you that may have seen The Secret, he was the featured speaker in that movie, the hit blockbuster movie The Secret, but has spent over 50 years helping millions of people right around the world create the life that they want, and such a special mentor to so many, including myself. He's known today, well, the largest publishing company in the world, Penguin Random House, refers to him as America's greatest prosperity teacher. But if you ask him, if you ask Bob, he'll just say, I'm just Bob, and that's what we love about him so much. So please listen to the next couple of minutes to our very special guest on today, and I'm excited for you to hear from him. Bob, thank you so much for being on today.
Well, thank you, Marnie. You're starting to lose a little bit of that Aussie twang, I think, aren't you?
Yep.
Good on you. Well, listen, I want to welcome everybody here today. And I understand there's a number of members of the Global Team Diamond Network, but there's also a lot of guests on here. And you know, I've been working with people now my whole adult life, helping individuals really think of what they want and then go and get it. And I have seen some phenomenal things happen when people take this seriously, when they make up their mind that they're really going to make something happen. Now, I don't know why you're on here today. I don't imagine you're looking for things to do. You're obviously here because somebody suggested it, or you're a part of the team that Marnie just mentioned, of Linda, Wolfgang, Elaine, herself, Darren. These people are all going somewhere. They've got definite targets. They've got a vehicle that's going to help them get there. And I found over 50 some years now working in this, that the average person ends up almost every day where they were a year ago today. There's all kinds of people right now that are in exactly the same spot they were in a year ago. Well, it may get a little better, a little worse. And they really don't like it, but they don't change it. Now, why don't they change it? They don't change it because they don't make a decision to change it. Now, I can speak with some authority on this because although I have been doing this for a long time, I lived until I was 26 and going in the wrong direction. And I was picking up speed. I was unhappy, I was sick, and I was broke. I had no formal education, I had no business experience. But someone, they asked me why I was living the way I was living. And you know, I couldn't answer them. They said, why don't you change? Never entered my mind that I could. And this man said, if you do exactly what I tell you, you can have anything you want. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'll be 84 in a couple of months. I work all over the world. I set a goal many years ago to have a company that operated all over the world. I just broadcast a seminar from Los Angeles a week or so ago into 113 different countries. Now, when I set the target to have a company operating all over the world, I had no idea how I was going to do it. I was living in a house on Maplewood Lane in Glenview, Illinois. I had a pen and a pad in my hand, and that was about it. And I was making a decision of what I was going to do. I had just left the position I had with the company I was working with. I was in this business of personal growth, and I made a decision that I'd build a company that operated all over the world. Now I have, but I'm nowhere near finished. I'm still doing it. And way back, oh gosh, it would have to be now probably in the early 70s. I did some work with Marshall Field's company in Chicago, and it was Field Enterprise. Now, most of you probably never even heard of this, but they were selling encyclopedias. Now, encyclopedias would be like taking Google and put it in a set of books and make the books look really good, well bound. And then they would hire school teachers, and they would have them go knocking on doors selling these encyclopedias. You could find anything you wanted in that set of books. Of course, this is long before there was any Google or computers or anything like that. And the school teachers did fairly well. Now, at the same time, Field Enterprises were doing this. There was another company called Britannia, a little more sophisticated. They were doing that. But then if you go into a supermarket, maybe into one of the big grocery stores, you'd find at the end of an aisle a pile of books. Or they would be displayed beautifully, and they'd be in nice hard covers, letterette covers, and they'd be selling the set of encyclopedias for maybe $60 or $49. And nobody was buying them. And yet Field Enterprises were selling them for maybe $2,500, and Britannia were selling them for $5,000. People were actually paying $2,500, $5,000 for a set of books. You see, what these people were doing was selling education. Now, when I was doing work with Field Enterprise, they started something. There was a group of the executives got together and said, I wonder what a person can do in a day. If they were given the best they got, what could they do in a day? I want to ask you that. What do you think you could accomplish in one day if you give it the best you got? And this idea built within the company, and they decided they would have something called Big Day. And you know, they sold more sets of encyclopedia in a day than they previously sold in any office in a month. Because they got the people excited about seeing what they could do in a day. Now, when you do something, no one can take that away from you. When you've done it, you've done it. You have it in memory. Well, they were so successful as this, they extended it to Big Week. I was doing a lot of work with them at the time. Many years ago, I went to a company that Linda was working in, and I suggested they institute Big Week. And I'm going to tell you, they sold a carload of stuff in Big Week because they got the people excited about an idea. Well, here, about a month ago, Linda came to me and she said, I was talking to Marnie and Darren, and we were talking about doing Big Week. I said, I think that's a phenomenal idea. Because you see, what it does, it gets everybody that is involved to find out what they can do in a day. What could they do in a week where you put 7 days back to back? Now, I've done that in our own company, and I have seen phenomenal changes take place in people's performance. What could you do in a day? Now, you may be wondering why somebody even invited you on this call, because you're not a member of the Team Diamond Global Network, but you must know somebody that is. Well, it doesn't matter whether you're a member of it or not. If they invited you, you could become a member and you could get involved in this idea. Now, that Big Week that I did with that company many, many years ago, way back in the 70s, changed my entire thought process. Bob Proctor started to really stop and ask himself, what could you do in a day? What could you do in a day if you really put everything you had into it? You see, for you to find the answer to that, you've got to learn to focus. And you've got to focus on a particular end. You've got to decide what you're going to do. You've got to stretch. Let's suppose you're selling something and you say, well, the most I've ever sold in a day is 4. Well, how about selling 34 or 44? You say, well, I don't know how to do that. You don't have to know how to do it. You don't have to know how you're going to get there, but you need to know that you're going to get there. Now, this is basic stuff. This is basic human development material. There's no catch to it, but I'm going to tell you something. You get involved in this and you give it what you've got. Your income is going to be one thing that changes, but so many things are going to change. You see, the same guy that picked up this book I've got on my desk, Think and Grow Rich, way back many, many years ago, that was broke, unhappy. Today, I earn millions of dollars. I have friends all over the world. I live a fascinating life. And you see, I'm very good at teaching this because I know if I could do it, anybody could do it. When I took a look at where I started, I am totally convinced when I can win, anybody can win. I want to read you something that it's a very favorite piece of literature of mine. It's called The Big Money. And I think it's very apropos. I mean, we're talking about Big Week. The Big Money. Now, while I read this, I want you to build a picture in your mind. So listen very carefully to me. I want you to visualize a river. We will say this river is as straight as an arrow. No bends in it, just straight river. Let's say it's about 100 feet wide. The water is moving fairly quickly. But the water on one side is flowing in one direction, and on the other side is flowing in the other direction. Say, how could that happen? I don't know. We're making it up with our imagination, so you can do anything. Now listen to this very carefully. Napoleon Hill wrote The Big Money. Keep that image of the river in your mind. He said, when money comes in quantities known as the big money, it flows to the one who accumulates it as easily as water flows downhill. And he says there exists a great unseen stream of power, which may be compared to a river, except that one side flows in one direction, carrying all who get into that side of the stream onward and upward to wealth. The other side flows in the opposite direction, carrying all who are unfortunate enough to get into it and not able to extricate themselves from it, downward to misery and poverty. Every person who has accumulated a great fortune has recognized the existence of this stream of life. It consists of one's thinking process. The positive emotions of thought form the side of the stream which carries one to fortune. The negative emotions form the side which carries one down to poverty. Now, he said this carries a thought of stupendous importance to the person who is following this with the object of accumulating a fortune. If you're inside of the stream of power which leads to poverty, this may serve as an oar by which you may propel yourself over onto the other side of the stream. It can serve you only through application and use. Merely reading and passing judgment on it, either one way or another, will in no way benefit you. Now listen to this last paragraph. Poverty and riches often change places. They definitely did with me, as I've told you. Poverty and riches often change places. Poverty may and generally does voluntarily take the place of riches. When riches take the place of poverty, that change is usually brought about through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. Poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to aid it, because it is bold and ruthless. Riches are shy and timid. They have to be attracted. Well, do you know what Marnie and Linda and the team are talking about here is a form of attraction that will create prosperity for you, that will create wealth for you, will add something to your life. Now, when the man asked me why I was earning what I was earning, I looked at him rather strange. I thought, well, you know, it's just what I'm earning. See, I didn't know that I could call that shot. I didn't know that I could write down any figure and say, this is what I'm going to earn. I didn't know that. I was earning $4,000 a year, but I owed $6,000. See, I was on the side of the stream that was going in the wrong direction. He said, Bob, why don't you change it? It never entered my mind that I could. Now, with the number of people on this line, I know that there's someone on here that would like to change, but have never changed yet. You're not quite sure how to do it. Well, if you want to change, don't ask the guy next door, because he probably does know a hell of a lot more about change than you do. But listen to the people that are heading up this Team Diamond Global Network. Because I'm going to tell you, they know what they're doing. Wolfgang Sonnenberg, who's over on the European side of things, I've seen him receive one check for $1 million, and that was a bonus check. That was after he had earned, I think, probably close to 15 million that year. $1 million bonus. I've watched what some of these people do. Blaine and Alain Bannon. They are pros at what they do. You talk to these people, you're going to learn something. Now look at Linda. When I first introduced this kind of business to Linda, she was working all year for $24,500. I said, if you do exactly what I tell you, Linda, I'm going to show you how to multiply that. A year later, she was earning $495,000. She's earned millions of dollars at this. Even Marnie that opened this up. She's got an associate, Darren Gibson. You know, Marnie's from Australia, Darren's been there, but both of them just made a trip to Australia. And you know, they're doing it the right way. They're flying in the front of the plane, where there's lots of room, where you make your bed and you go to sleep at 35,000 feet. And when you wake up, they serve you a hot breakfast in your space. See, there's a good way to travel and there's a bad way to travel. It's like a French distiller one time said, the good life is expensive. There's another way to live that doesn't cost as much, but it isn't any good. Now, I want to suggest that you sit down and ask yourself, what do I really want? And then investigate the opportunity that these people are giving you. Now, the beautiful part about the way this is designed, over the next week, it's called setup time. It's setup. You're just setting things up. The following week is Big Week. So if you really want to be involved in this, and you want to find out what you're capable of doing, you can become a part of the Team Diamond Global Network this week, while they're setting everything up. I thought it was brilliant the way they decided that they would take a week and get all the ducks in order. And then the next week, you just see what you can actually do in a day and put 7 of those days back to back. Now, I'm going to tell you, I speak with a lot of experience. I've been around the park for a long time. I watch a lot of people. I see people getting opportunities like this presented to them, and they say, well, I don't be interested, and then they go back to their same old, dull, poverty-driven routine. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't take advice from anyone unless they've already accomplished what you're dreaming about. Because if they haven't accomplished what you're dreaming about, they can't help you. There's people in this Team Diamond Global Network who are highly qualified to help you. Listen very carefully. I'm going to turn this over to Linda in a minute, but I want to read you something before I do. It comes out of a little book called U Square. And it's right at the start of the book. If you have the book, you know what I'm going to read. It's called A True Story. See, some people think if I'm going to do better, I have to work harder. I do many times better, and I don't work anywhere near as hard. Set a big goal, do what they're suggesting. Now listen to this. The author says, I'm sitting in a quiet room at the Millcroft Inn, a peaceful little place hidden back among the pine trees, about an hour out of Toronto. It's just past noon in late July, and I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on just a few feet away. There's a small fly burning out the last of its short life's energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of the window pane. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly strategy. Try harder, but it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It is impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. The fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. Now, across the room, just 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this small creature could reach the outside world it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of its self-imposed trap. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach? Something dramatically different? How did it get so locked in on the idea that this particular route and determined effort offer the most promise for success? What logic is there continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same? No doubt this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. You see, for some strange reason as a people, we have been trained to believe if we're going to do better, we got to try harder. That's not necessarily true, but we may have to change our strategy. I want you to really listen carefully. You're not on this call by accident. You're here because you're supposed to be. You're going to hear something that's going to make a difference. You make up your mind that you're going to be a part of that difference. Over the next 7 days, talk to the person who's talked to you. It's setup time. Setup time. 1 week, setup time. And then bingo, big week. And you're going to see magic happen. There will be people that will become aware they can do more in a day than they could in a month. And they didn't even try harder. Now, do you know, I have watched Linda, who's my wife, do some phenomenal things in business. She's got a marvelous mind. She's a very good person, a very generous person. And all she wants to do is help the people in her team. I'm going to turn this over to Linda. And Linda, thank you for having me on here. I love the idea of Big Week. You know I love the idea of Big Week. And I want you to make this setup week the best setup week you've ever experienced, and then have the best big week you've ever had. And I truly believe and hope that every person that can hear my voice is going to be a part of it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bob. Holy smokes, that was great, and not just inspiring, but so true in terms of everything that you said. You know, it was Bob who introduced me, as he indicated, to this industry about 25 years ago. Bob and I have been together almost 40. And it was a suggestion following a discussion he and I had about how I really wanted to spend my days. I wanted a career on my terms, and the first question he asked me is, what are your terms? How, you know, what do you want? I wanted high income potential. I wanted control of my time. I wanted a good product or service. I wanted a global business. I had a whole laundry list of things that I wanted. But when I put it together, I had no idea what that might be. And if you've never put together a list or never thought in terms of how you'd like to spend your days, then maybe it's time. I didn't, as I indicated, know what I had just described, and initially Bob didn't either. And he suggested that an industry that I might look at would be network marketing. Now, I thought he had sort of was teasing or lost his mind when he said that, because I didn't really think that industry offered the elements that I had just described. But what I found out is that what I knew about the industry was really incorrect. Bob said that I had based my opinion on a handful of people I knew who had never been successful in the industry, and that if I really wanted an accurate picture, that I should speak with someone who was at the top of their game and form an opinion based on that information. I did. Bob put me in touch with a gentleman who at the time, and this was 25 years ago, who was earning $250,000 a month. I fell in love with the industry, and not only did I fall in love with the industry, I'm still in love with it 25 years ago. The point I want to make is that I really learned from that gentleman the business side of this, and that's where there was a disconnect in terms of what I thought I knew about the business and the actual business. What you're doing in this particular business is building a network that product moves through. I'm going to repeat that. You're building a network that product moves through. That was a revelation to me. I think most people believe that the business is something different, and they work it differently. So what's the point relative to today's topic of Big Week? Well, I think we've all seen and perhaps experienced really hot real estate markets, stock markets. And when that happens, when the markets get hot, the excitement and profit potential available can be insane. Over the 25 years that I've been in this industry, I've experienced momentum in 2 separate companies. It's fun, business flows, and man, oh man, does everything flow. Some of the leaders on this team have been part of companies within the industry that went through insane momentum as I have. Bob mentioned Wolfgang Sonnenberg and his income. He's been in this industry over 20 years and has earned millions and millions of dollars. Aline Bannon, she and her husband Alon, as Bob mentioned, have been in companies where they've had over 100,000 people. Marnie Kay and Darren Gibson have been part of a company that where there were tens of thousands of people coming into the company on a weekly basis. So, the leadership is strong here. The leadership is experienced, and if you've ever dreamed of being at the right place at the right time, and I think working with the right people, and that's a key. The people that really know what they're doing, the people who are concerned about you, the people who can direct you and flatten out that learning curve, this could be it for you. Bob explained Big Week a minute ago, and he explained the purpose. Well, what we want to do is within our team create a really hot market where folks can make huge gains in a short period of time. Just like with stocks and real estate or any other industry that where a lot of momentum has been created, it takes a team, and that's what we're doing, rallying the whole team to work together to reap the benefits of what we can collectively accomplish and create. Now, when we're starting planning this, the idea is that it would only be a week. However, everyone that was a part of the planning had folks they wanted to reach out to for them to be in a position to take advantage of what we were going to create with Big Week. So we decided to run this over 2 weeks, but the actual Big Week is from March 17th to March 23rd. So this week, March 10th to March 16th, is where everyone reaches out to their special friends or contacts. And I assume that's why you're on the phone, because someone said that they would like you to be a part of this, that they would like to give you an opportunity to get in ahead of what we're doing in Big Week and take advantage of the momentum to really create something, to create a foundation, to create something really big. We've already had some meetings with part of the team about Big Week, and we suggested that the first and foremost thing everyone should do is form a vision of what they want to accomplish for themselves and their team over the next 2 weeks. So whether you're already on board or you're a guest, get that vision. How do you really want to be living? And let us help you get that foundation in place. This could truly launch your business. And if you already are on board and have a foundation, it could take it to the moon. Trust me, there's a number of us who have been through momentum in a company, and it can be insane. We want everyone to make this next 2 weeks fun, working together, doing something that perhaps has never been done in this company before. To do that, we all need to take action, and take action collectively and at the same time and together. And so in a few minutes, Marnie will explain that there's lots of different activities set up to get folks trained and to support you in getting your business started. So make sure that you plug in and take advantage of everything and the experience and the real support that you'll find on this team. We're not going to be able to explain everything today, but we do have a website with all the information. www.bigweekrocks. You'll notice that when you go to the site, there's a leaderboard on the landing page where the results will be displayed. A little bit of friendly competition to keep things exciting. The leaderboard won't actually start until next week because that's actually our big week. But you'll notice that there's prizes that your team leaders are offering. And yes, this is money your leaders are putting up, not corporate. The qualifications for the prizes is over 2 weeks, this week and next. So next Saturday, the official launch of Big Week, the leaderboard will display this week's results, and from then on, it'll be updated every couple of hours till the end of the week. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And if you're looking for something that could really change your life, you're looking for support, you're looking for a team, and you're looking for the environment that really can support you, help you change those paradigms, because yes, that's part of what needs to be changed, then I think you'll quickly realize that this is the place. So I'm going to hand it back over to Marnie, who's going to give you a little bit more information about Week and how this could work for you. Thank you, Marnie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda, and Bob as well. I remember being in a lot of the guest shoes here today, just a few years back, listening to a call that was similar with Bob, sharing this idea that you could create change, and that if you're partnered with the right people and the right vehicle, that it really doesn't have to take a lot of effort. And boy, was that true. I mean, I remember being on that call thinking, gosh, I hope one day Bob and Linda know my name. And for those of you who were on a little bit before we started, not only do they know my name, Bob still continues to make fun of my accent. So it's okay. I'm joking that I'm going to start moving in. But a very, very special call today to hear from two mentors that are sought after right around the world, that we have the incredible opportunity to work with here with Team Diamond Global Network. And let me tell you, if you want to book Bob and his mentorship, you can call his company Proctor Gallagher, and you'd pay a lot of money for not a lot of time, which he's very capable of getting results in that time. But we have the opportunity here to learn from the principles that he teaches through this vehicle of network marketing, with Linda Proctor as our mentor, our coach, and the true visionary for what we're building here ahead of massive momentum. And I can tell you, having been in one of those throes of momentum that she talked about with the team in the previous company, it was such an exciting time. And I joined in the middle of that momentum. And what I want to share with you here today is that we are ahead of that momentum right now. We are at the beginning, before that momentum has even started, and we are about to create it as a team here in the next couple of weeks. So your timing is the best possible timing for you to jump on board and take full advantage for yourself, your family, and the vision that you have for your life that you've heard both Bob and Linda talk about, because I am a living, walking example of that being truly possible. Myself and thousands of others that have made the decision along the way to partner up with us. And that's really what you're looking at joining here today. It's a team, it's the mentorship, it's the group of people who are going in a direction of their dreams, their goals, and what they're looking to do. And that's probably the best part about this, is that you're partnered up with people who know what they're doing, know how to do it, and are willing to walk with you and help you every step of the way in whatever your goals look like. So as we kick off our setup week, you heard Bob talk about this is the week where we're going to get everything in place. Let me tell you, timing matters. If you wait, if you're thinking about it and you're wondering what you might do next week, next month, next year, you're probably going to see similar results next week, next month, next year, until you make that decision. So we're here to help you today to make that decision, to get started today, ahead of even the momentum that this week is going to bring. Even though it's a setup week for us, you want to make sure you're in ahead of that. We're going to show you how to do that in a simple, easy way and get you off and running this week so that you take full advantage of momentum next week. So we are starting today, and I'm going to walk through a couple of simple steps for you here. But while I do that, I want you to be thinking about who you know that's like you, that would like to partner up with us, be at the beginning of something special, and join us on, we're going to have many calls lined up this week, mostly focused on the opportunity of being in ahead of the momentum with a team of people excited to make this our biggest move yet. And all of the information that you need is on the Big Week .rocks website, so www.bigweek.rocks, R-O-C-K-S, including the support, the vision, the products that I'm going to walk you through here in a second. As Linda talked about, you want to be partnered up with a line of products that people are already spending money on, that are already today's biggest trends, but that are better and backed by science than anything else out there, and we've got that for you. And we are going to support you with calls just like this one you've heard here today. We've got 2 this afternoon with myself, so we're going to have another opportunity webinar. Again, these links are on our bigweek.rocks website, followed by a quick start training for those that are visionary, that are excited to get started today and jump on board. I'm going to have those 2 calls and a few others later today to help you get into action right away to take advantage of all the momentum this week ahead of Big Week. So what are the products that we have chosen to partner with? Well, one of the things that I know about this industry is that choosing the right vehicle matters. In an industry today, or in a world today, where most businesses fail in the first 5 years, where most are struggling to do what this company has already done in a very short amount of time, I knew that I probably would not be able to make the best decision. I don't have all the experience. I don't have 25 years in the industry or know what to look for. But I'll tell you who does. Linda Proctor. Linda, myself, and a couple of other leaders took, it was almost 2 months to find the right vehicle that we wanted to partner with, a vehicle that we could go to the top of, a vehicle that we could launch that had a product like nothing else out there, second to none, a company that had a vision of becoming a legacy company, but really hadn't gone through the momentum yet, because we wanted to be ahead of that momentum right where we are right now. So we've partnered with a company called Zija International that has an entire range of products that, as I said earlier, people are already spending money on out there, but are synthetic, are not natural, and we've got a superior range of plant-based, scientifically formulated products for weight loss, nutrition. We have the only clinical grade essential oils out there, skincare, all natural, second to none. This miracle gel here on the side is one product that you could build an entire business on. Any of these products, the entire range of the natural health revolution, all you've got to do is get excited about one of them, pick what you're excited about, and we're going to help you get your business started with it today. And with spring just around the corner, we've got a huge opportunity to have in our arsenal not only nutrition and weight loss, which everybody's looking for right now, skincare, a trillion-dollar industry, and we're one of the only to be all natural, scientifically proven, plant-based. The list goes on and on and on, as well as our very special detox tea, again, a product so many people are excited about. And we're going to show you how to build a business and earn as much as you want with your goals and the vision that you have for your life with this system. And to help you do it, this whole big week is focused on helping you maximize and earn as much money as possible. And I'm going to hang on with me here, because we've got an extra bonus that Linda has put on the table, a huge bonus to help you get off to a massive start here. So we're going to go through this in the training, but we're going to help you earn 4 different types of commissions, and we can do that starting this week just by getting a couple people excited and on the call to be ahead of the momentum that we're going to have in Big Week. We're going to help you earn each of these commissions this week, and this will all add up very quickly for a lot of money for you. But for those that step out and do something a bit bigger, and those who would like to in the next 2 weeks add an extra $500 on top of the money that we're earning, this is a bonus for Team Diamond Global Network, our team. not paid for by the company, paid for by Linda to incentivize those people who really get excited about what we're going to do. We want to help you add an extra $500 in the next 2 weeks, paid in US dollars. It'll be paid by PayPal at the end of the week. Once you've earned it, we want to help as many people as possible. This isn't limited to the top 3 people. This is anyone who achieves the one idea that we've set up, which is very achievable, and we share that on our Big Week .rocks website. And we'll help you get the details on that. But this is super simple. Let me tell you, when I started this, it was a launch like this that absolutely blasted off my business. And the incentive, the prize it was about the same, but what was required to achieve it was way greater. It was almost double what we've got here for you today. We want to make this simple, easy, and fun. So for those of you that are already on the team, just to give you a bit of an idea, it will be 3,000 PV in the next 2 weeks, which is easy and simple, and we're excited to help you do that. When you do that, we've got a couple of particulars there to make sure we help you set it up so that it creates momentum for you. We want to give you an extra $500 cash on top of all the money that you would have already earned in the other bonuses doing that. And this will kick off, I know, a nice new spring wardrobe. Maybe you want to take a vacation, or maybe you just are excited to get something happening where you can create real change in your life with an additional stream of income. Whatever that is for you, we're excited to help you do it. So how does it work? Well, it's simple. There's no contracts, no fees, no signups, none of that. The mentorship that we've talked about with you today comes free with our Team Diamond Global Network. We're just asking you to join us here today, and how you do that is you just pick some of the products that you're excited about. So get back to the person who brought you here. Choose your products that you're excited about. Maybe it's fitness, maybe it's weight loss, maybe it's nutrition, maybe it's the skincare, essential oils, whatever it is for you. Pick your products, pick your pack. We're going to help you maximize on those commissions, but you can enroll with us today for as little as $100 US if you want to start earning commissions. And we're going to encourage that if you are looking at this as a real business, though, and you want to maximize on those commissions for a longer term vision, then you want to look at, we have 2 business builder packs. They're a gold and a diamond pack. Again, extremely affordable, and we're going to help you maximize on those packs if you want to really take full advantage of the next 2 weeks momentum and maximize on your income. We're going to help you download our app. Everything's based on our app, web-based, and really simple to set up, and we're going to help you attend, host, create, join our home events, our online events that we are starting today. The next one is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a little over an hour from now, where I'm going to share again this opportunity, this vehicle for those who get started now and are excited to join us ahead of all the momentum. So let me just wrap it up real quick here. The importance of timing. You have the opportunity right now to be ahead of all the momentum on this team in this next couple of weeks to just make that one decision to get started. You don't have to know how you're going to get to the top of the staircase. You've just got to be willing to take that first step and know that you're working with people that have created massive momentum, that have helped a lot of people earn a lot of money, and we are at the beginning of launching and doing this again right now with this team, Team Diamond Global Network. And I'm going to finish it up with a story. For those of you that I know have followed and probably learned from Bob, as well as Linda Proctor, both incredible mentors. You know, it was just a couple of years back that I'd been fairly new in the business, and I was at a dinner with Bob and Linda. And as we went around the table, Bob asked everybody at the table, what is it that you really want? The same question that Linda talked about at the beginning, the same question Bob will always ask. What is it that you really, really want? And everybody sat, there's a group of us, everybody sat, you know, in silence for a minute and started thinking about it. And for some of us, it was, you know, wanting time freedom to be able to spend more time with our family, our friends. For me, it was to be able to go back home whenever I wanted. Be with my family, which required not only time freedom, but a certain amount of financial freedom and flexibility as well. And as we went around the table, we each gave an answer. And for most of us, it was a certain amount of money, not because of the money, but because that's how we know we really want to be living, to be able to give back, to do more. It's simple. When you have more, you can do more and give more. And he went silent for a minute, rested his head on his hand, looked around at each of us and said, well, let me ask you a question. And this is what helped me understand the true value of what we do here with Team Diamond Global Network. He said, let me ask you a question. Where in today's economy can you earn that kind of money on a part-time basis with your current skill set and someone willing to help you every step of the way? Who's already done it? And we all sat in silence for a minute. We all thought about it for a minute and realized that truly this is the vehicle today, leveraging today's biggest trends to help the person out there today that wants to create change do it in a fun, dynamic way, listening and learning from those that already have it. And the support and the team that we have here is second to none. And truly, I've looked for years. There is no other way today that you can earn this kind of money on a part-time basis with your current skill set and somebody willing to help you every step of the way. And on top of all of that, to be partnered with and supported by these two incredible mentors, Bob Proctor, sought after right around the world, along with Linda Proctor, a multi-million-dollar earner in her own right, incredible businesswoman and mentor. And we have such a huge opportunity here ahead of us in this next week to make the biggest wave yet for Team Diamond Global Network. And we invite each and every one of you to join us wherever you can, wherever you're from. We're going to help you. Join us ahead of all the momentum, and I hope that you make an extra decision today, not only to join us, but to do something big here, to step out and do something, as Bob said, that you've probably never done before, that you've probably not even thought of doing before, because that's what's going to help you really create change in your life. And I'm going to wrap it up with this. It doesn't matter where you are today. Wherever that is, with whatever you have, you are nowhere compared to where you can go. And we're excited to help you over the next couple of weeks take full advantage of everything we are about to do. So get excited, Team Diamond Global Network. For those of you that are already with us, for those of you that are yet to make the decision, get back to the person who brought you here. Let's get you started today and move into massive momentum, because we had hundreds on this call today, and I know that's going to be thousands next week, and into the tens of thousands in the next couple months as we move forward with this team and make waves right around the world. Thank you so much for joining us. Have an amazing Saturday, and I look forward to meeting you, congratulating you on the decision that you've made, and joining you in partnership in this business real soon. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome day.